Welcome back to Food Related. In today's video, we're going to be making some DIY cough syrup. So our cough syrup is pretty simple. It just requires a few basic ingredients. So honey, blackberries, water. This is the tricky bit. So Kawakawa leaves and some Kūmarahou leaves. Now these are pretty unique to New Zealand. Here we've got a Kawakawa leaf, and you'll notice that this one doesn't have many holes, but the other one does. Now the one with the holes is regarded as the better leaf to use when using Kawakawa because it's stronger and has more medicinal properties. The smaller leaf is called Kūmarahou, and it has really high antiseptic properties which make it perfect for making elixirs and cough syrups. So first off, we start with a handful of Kawakawa leaves. Just chuck them into a saucepan and add about a litre of water and a small handful of Kūmarahou leaves. Now you can get pretty flexible with the quantities. We've just done it by kind of eye, having made this a few times. The more greens that you add, the stronger it's going to be, and probably a little bit more bitter. So that's something to bear in mind. So all we now need to do is bring this to the boil, and you could just make it quite quickly within half an hour. But what I like to do is bring it right to the boil, then turn it off, put the lid on, and just let it steep for at least an hour, possibly 3. So next we just strain it, getting rid of all the leaves. Here I've just used a bit of a colander. And the next step is probably putting it back into the saucepan. That's going to make your life easier for the next step of the process, where we're going to add the blackberries, and then we're going to bring those up to the boil. Now these blackberries were just frozen, but in an ideal world we'd pick our own and use what's available. Those blackberries are going to give us a nice flavour and a nice vitamin boost. So I pretty much just simmer the blackberries for 5 minutes just to break them down, and then we strain the mixture again. Here we're just trying to get all the liquid out without too much of the pulp. We don't want this to be really thick consistency. It's more of a liquid rather than a syrup, so to speak. And from here, we're going back into the saucepan. This liquid's pretty hot at this stage, and we just add 2 tablespoons of honey. Now if you wanted to really splash out, you could use some high-grade Manuka honey, which has heaps of health benefits, antibacterial properties, which would again make it really good for a cough syrup. Next step is just to put it into a nice sterilized bottle, and from here you can keep it in the fridge for 6 to 8 weeks, although we've had some in the fridge for 6 months and it's been fine. What we have found is if there's too much honey, it can start to ferment and gets a bit fizzy. So there you have it, our basic cough syrup. So to give you an idea of how it tastes and how to use it, we use about 15 to 20 mils, and up we go. So the honey gives it some sweetness. You can definitely taste the berries, and there's like after about 10 seconds you get a kind of numbing effect, and that's from the Kūmarahou leaves that were in there. And we find it really settles our throat if we've got like a tickly cough or something similar to that. So give it a go.